allow them to vote without realizing the citizens of this state were paying attention. And we just kept it up. And it was that pressure that we applied as citizens that made the difference. If we hadn't have stood up, I guarantee you Real ID would be in the state right now. Because it was our voices that caused the bill to get introduced in the first place. And all of you can do that. Everybody in this room has something that's special to, near and dear to their heart. Whether it's guns and knives, or homeschooling, or healthcare, or taxes. Everybody has that thing that they get the most into. And you take that and you bring it forward. You make it a bigger issue. You make it visible for everybody else so you can make change. This knife bill has brought forward the fact that there's been an outdated, antiquated law on the books of this state since, I think, 1954. I wasn't even born. Hi, Mom. I think you were. So think about that. How long this bill, this law, has been on the books. That rights have been stifled, and nobody said anything. But I can tell you some of the people were saying something, only they weren't saying it loud enough. The guy in the store who sold a switchblade to a police officer, mind you, police officers are 100% exempt from this ban. So he thought, well, then he can have one. And he sold it to him. And the next day, the government came in and raided his store, took $5,000 worth of his inventory, arrested him for selling the switchblade to the exempted person. So it's important that we look at the law books and see these things and get rid of them, because they do hurt people. They cost them their time, their money, their livelihood, their freedom. That's why what we do is important. That's why we need you here with us, helping us. If anybody has any questions, I would be more than happy to answer.
I have, to be the devil's advocate here, yeah, I'm against Real ID. It's horrible. But isn't the government, when they do a census, isn't that categorizing us? And I mean, can't they, I know one hand doesn't always work with the other with the federal government, but, and I'm not even knocking the census because I've used it in genealogy work and I'm glad it was there, but don't they do it through the, I mean, hasn't somebody thought, okay, well, we won't pass Real ID, we'll just use all the census stuff to categorize.
Well, that depends on whether you get the short form, the long form, and how you choose to fill it out.
Okay.
So I guess, yes, they could.
According to what I know, the Real ID is not in the register, it's not the law.
Real ID was passed into law in 2005. It was actually buried in a military appropriations bill. In other words, if they didn't pass the bill, the military wasn't going to get their funding for troops that were overseas. It was on page, I think, 80 or 88 of the original bill. So it did actually become law. It has been continuously pushed off by the federal government. They keep granting extensions. And they keep granting extensions because people aren't playing. We've got about 7 or so states that have passed laws that say that they're not going to participate. And there's another 20 or so states that passed resolutions that say we don't want to participate. So realizing that they were running into this big roadblock, they've never actually got it implemented. However, Kentucky did become a pilot state, and Kentucky has made changes to their driver's licenses.
Yeah, I'm talking about bill not passing bill. Actually, there was a bill passed that New Hampshire will be no Real ID state. Right. But that bill didn't become the law registered in the register. Bob Hall, another free stater, was harassed with his driving license due to the exchange of information between New Jersey and New Hampshire illegally after passing.
That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. That's actually a different law. There is a compact between the states regarding driver's licenses. They don't have direct access in without permission, but yeah, they can run a license check on you And if they find that you are suspended in another state, they'll suspend you in this state. It's part of a driver's license compact that is between all the states. Do I think that's a great thing? No. But trying to get out of it's the hard part, because what they've done is embedded the driver's license compacts in such a way that if New Hampshire says we're not participating in the compact anymore, and you get stolen from, say you order something online from some guy in New Jersey, and he doesn't give you the product, and you want to sue him in small claims court because he's in another state, New Jersey can actually refuse to help you on the matter because New Hampshire's not playing nice with the compact.
Hey Jen, Knife Rights, Inc., which is the National Knife Rights Group, has been really active and helpful in your quest here. So I want to ask you to shamelessly plug that special little lipstick and the raffle.
Absolutely.
It's really important.
Absolutely, I am going to do that.
Here.
I am going to do that.
Thank you.
Knife Rights Incorporated, for anybody who doesn't know, is a pro-knife rights organization. Just like you have NRA for guns, well, you got Knife Rights for knives. And they are working towards seeing states change their laws to make them more knife-free. And Knife Rights has actually been extremely supportive and helpful to the state of New Hampshire, because our bill is actually very important to the rest of the nation. Other states are watching what we're doing here. Other states that have prohibitions are watching what we're doing. And if we're able to lift our prohibition, odds are they will too. In fact, after the New Hampshire knife bill was introduced, the state of Arizona was the one state that does have very good knife laws, introduced a preemptive bill to prevent future laws from being created that would inhibit knife rights. And he's referring to my cute little knife. I gotta show you my special, I've gotten kind of interested in collecting knives lately. And when the reason I titled this program Knives, Lipstick, and Liberty is because I actually, it culminates all of that. The catalyst I'm on right now is knives. In the past, it's been liberty issues like Real ID and 2A issues, and who knows what tomorrow's issue is going to be, although I did come up with some interesting ideas listening to Judge Napolitano last night that I want to research some potential bills. But I found this great knife, and I got to show you this. This is really great for the ladies. Lipstick, right? Nah. Who's going to see that coming? Talk about your pocket tool. I love this thing. Absolutely love this thing. And if anybody's interested, we are going to be selling them, and I am going to be signing them after this is over. But I just love this. And I love tools that I can keep and nobody necessarily has to know what the tool is. I did plug them a little bit earlier. Well, Kate is, stand up, Kate. Kate is now the New Hampshire Second Amendment Sisters State Coordinator. And she took that mantle on about 2 years ago and has grown the chapter immensely. And if you want to go to a fun shoot, you got to go to one of Kate's shoots. She's also an NRA certified instructor, so she's a great person to learn from. I'm now the national coordinator and sit on the board of directors for the Second Amendment Sisters. So my job is to bring in coordinators from around the country and try and help them do their jobs. But the Second Amendment Sisters, it's interesting that you brought that up. The Second Amendment Sisters was the first